Gellick in the house with us right now. Robert Mulligan, Mike Bulmer, Ninja Glock in here with us. Average Crypto Joe. Crypto Coin Mindset keep joining us. Trade Intuition TI Joe in the house. Let's go. It's time, guys. Let's get it. This is the Morning Market Report on the Piper Academy Network, and I am Army Piper. Welcome to the Sea of Red. Continuing on, we told you guys yesterday, look, we're swimming in the Sea of Red, and it's more red today. A lot of sell-off overnight, guys. $1.5 billion in liquidations. Taking a look here at the hourly, not even getting a market bounce there. Some things are showing some green. IP is up a little bit right now. It looks like we got Ultima is up a little bit, but overall market sell-off extraordinaire going on. It's happening. It's happening.
Abandoned ship.
Abandoned ship. That's right. Jumping over here, looking at the chart right now, guys. We are losing this level. You guys remember this level? We've been talking about it right here. Jesus, take the wheel. It's been on the chart for a month and a half. And when I sold all of my stock, all of my cryptos and stock at around $102.7 thousand Bitcoin, I told you guys that, hey, watch these levels. These are the levels to watch. Guys, if we don't hold this level, we're looking at this one. Looking at this one down here, this is Bitcoin's last stand right there. Bitcoin's last stand. So that is what we're watching on the charts. We're going to break it all down. We're going to talk about the what's going on in the macroeconomic side. We just got some economic data that just came out, and a whole lot more. So stick around and welcome to the Morning Market Report. Guys, you know what time it is. Let's get it. Class is in session. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. Glad everyone's in here with us. Retro My Tech in the house. I see you, RMT. What's up, bro? Username. Guess who's back? Back again. Bear Piper's back. Bro, I've been a bear. I sold at 102.7. That should have sold everyone that I was bearish. I started my DCA process again. Yes, once again, Buck called the level for the here for the Tuesday DCA. I've been buying on Mondays. He said Tuesdays. He once again was correct. I'll give him that. But you know who's always right? My right hand man, my partner in crime, my co-host here, the OC guy. What's up, man? How you doing, bro?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. A little sad to see Bitcoin all the way down there, but we planned for it, right? I mean,
we did. Yep,
to be
absolutely.
honest, based on yesterday's analysis, yeah, I did enter on a long to try to catch a bounce, but it just went straight to my stop loss. That's fine. That's what we have a stop loss for, right? And at this point, it's right there almost with my V-shaped recovery sweep of the lows. And I also believe that you have a very fun area where is it right now. Is that correct? I do. I mean, I recall that.
Jesus take the wheel, man. We've talked about this. Jesus take the wheel. Even made a thumbnail last night. I was like, look, if we hit this level, guys, this is the thumbnail. In our VIP session, we did some chat GPT and got that image together, and there it is. That's the thumbnail. So Buck said, don't tell him he was right. Bro, my portfolio tells me I'm right. So whether anyone says it verbally or not, I open up my portfolio and go, I made 4.5% APY today, and my only exposure is what I've been DCAing back in at the top. So there you go. We started the DCA reset when I took all those profits. And if you guys are a member in our community, you know this. We've been doing the DCA reset for a hot minute now, since January 12th. So OC, the market sell-off, I'm going to let you lead in on the low time frame picture for Bitcoin, and then I'll come in. We'll knock out the news, and then we'll get into these higher time frames and talk about these levels that people need to be watching. I think it was last Friday. I had a thumbnail that said critical levels to watch. Right? Bitcoin must hold these levels. And somebody had commented on that video and said, critical level is the bottom of a range. Nothing to see here. And once we lost that level, we have dumped ever since. So, you know, hey, I'm just saying, comments are forever on the internet unless you go back and delete that. But yeah, that critical level was a critical level. That's That's how you do TA the right way. All right, let's go ahead and get over at your chart there, OC. Let's take a look and see what you're seeing on the local time frame, bro.
Absolutely. So let's take a look at the 4-hour time frame here. Remember that we've been talking about this one, and yesterday I moved this area all the way from here to where is it right now. Remember, I'm not just taking this out of my sleeve. This is the same area, or this same pattern that we grab from here, and we place it at this point. Remember that we're looking for a possible very big Wyckoff distribution accumulation, depending on how that breaks out, right? But at this point, remember that we were expecting that a sweep of the lows. And why is that? Because we had some big areas of support right there. Not only that big area of support, but also the volume on the VPVR, along with, there you go, predictive ranges line, and also there we go, previous week and predictive daily lines, with also pairs with this area of support all the way down here, right? So this will also fall in line with sweep of the lows, right? V-shaped recovery, and then continuation to the upside. Remember that we were expecting two possible scenarios. Number A, right, breaking out, going for a retest, going on the dynamic reactor, and then off we go. Or being very, very, very careful, because at this point we could be losing the area of support of the range that we were looking at, right? And what happens? Well, then I try to long the bottom. Remember, that's why we always set a stop loss, and then we are all the way down here. Let me remind you guys that we even had, there we go, our alert set up right here for our entry boxes, and these are not new alerts. Let me see if I can break them up here. Where are those? Well, those are not new alerts. Basically, they've been there for months already, and we've been talking about it for a long, long time, right? And finally, I also yesterday, and this is based on my long, we also set up the base of a possible sweep of the lows locally right here, as you can see, and this was at a fixture on the previous range. So I tried to long it here. It went straight to it. That's why we have stop loss again. And then we went for our next area of support. That is all the way down here. Just so you know, I already have purchased for myself, and this purchase, it's going to my DCA portfolio. Then might migrate to my retirement savings. All right. So that depends on how is it going. This is not financial advice, of course. Remember that DCA, regardless where you are at, you can also add to your big opportunities, which are big movements to the downside. Since nobody knows where is it going to be stopping, but we have some supports and resistances and also predictive ideas, we can calculate roughly where is it going to be bouncing. So far, we are right at the edge of my entry point, and we already are getting some oversold boxes in here. So at least I think that we could be having a little bit more movement to then have at least a dead cat bounce, or sorry about that, or a bounce out of those areas. Just to wrap this up, this is not done. If I see the V-shaped recovery, and then we start taking these previous lows, like breaking back above, then I'll be telling you guys that yes, we are on the same pattern, but willingly to break to the upside. All right, but so far we are still just on the very first phase of this pattern. We still need to wait and see if this holds the 86, 85-ish zone. Because if not, well then, let's throw it back to Piper, because I think he's got a very nice explanation on what's coming below that.
Yes, sir, I do. Shout out to everybody that's just joining us in the chat. I see Emma Coiner here. She's getting her setup together. She's going to start doing a guest spot here a couple days a week on the Morning Market Report. We're so looking forward to that. JR on here, he said, I wanted to click all three on the poll. You know, JR, I thought about it. He's talking about the poll I just put out. I said, why do you come to the Piper Academy Daily? Is it for the TA? Is it for the economy, macro news, or is it for the community? So right now, in the lead is for the community. We're a community-based channel, I guess. But yeah, Lunar Beach just said, I'm here for the macroeconomic news, but you guys are cool too. We appreciate you, bro. So yeah, Emma in here, Randy, Papa Randy in the house with us, Lunar Beaches Crypto in here, username 2Dub has joined us, Bedredden is in the house with us right now, and Little Fish, Mike Vollmer, I think I said your name earlier, but you'll get a double shout out, man. You're that cool. Yeah, Wayne C in here with us. Wanted to give a shout out to the people that have been joining us. We're now up to 42 viewers right now. So guys, hit that like button. I appreciate y'all being here. Appreciate you all being here. Let's go jump over to the news and let's talk about what we're seeing over there, get into all of this news that's fit to be news. So looking at that, guys, we are seeing right now that we are right now, let me adjust that. There we go. We are currently right now at 2.82 or $2.85 trillion on the crypto market cap. The trend line is coming in at 3.5 trillion, which means that we are 18.6% undervalued on crypto right now. Not a good look to see. That means it is a lot of sell-off going on there, guys. Looking at the Bitcoin wristbands, we're at 53.3%, about to move down into that 4, which will be a whole nother DCA level that we do over in the Piper plan. It is part of the dollar cost averaging investment plan that we're doing over there. And it's also got a nice exfil. It's got an infill. This is where you DCA. It's got an exfil. This is where we are taking our profits. So shout out to any of our members over there that are in that. We are at wristband 53.3% right now. That would be 2x on your DCA. So dollar cost average, your base amount, whatever it is, times 2. Looking at the Bitcoin dominance, we're at 61.18% right now with stables. Without the stables, Bitcoin sitting at 66.18 on the dominance chart. And then let's go look at that fear and greed because we are in fear. That's what we're in right now, guys. Let's go take a look and see what it is. All the way down to 25 is our classification right now, sitting in fear. That's what that's telling us. It means a lot of people scared right now. If you don't know, the fear and greed index is actually based on a lot of metrics. It's based on the on chain, it's based on social media metrics, Google searches. There's a lot of factors that go into that. So if you did not know, now you know. Shout out to Bedred. He said, Piper, thanks for the heads up, bro. I sold when you told me. I didn't tell you to sell. I said I would sell, not financial advice. But yes, you did hit me up, and I said, dude, I sold. I wouldn't be buying any alts. And I took all of my profit out of Bitcoin. I started a dollar cost average on it again. So shout out to Bedredden. You listened and you protected yourself. That's what I try to teach people. Protect your wealth. It's not just about making money. You got to keep money, right? So no one's ever gone broke taking profits, people. No one's ever gone broke. And so when you're looking at all this data that we're looking at every day here, it's really easy to see what's coming ahead on the horizon. So got the Piper sniper out there looking on the horizon for you guys. So looking at the liquidations here in the past 24 hours, guys, 379,672 traders were liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $1.57 billion. That is astronomical in the amount of liquidations there. The largest single liquidation order was on HTX. It was a Bitcoin versus USDT. Guys, that trade by itself, single trade, single liquidation, $39.6 million. Not good at all. Let's go look at the crypto bubbles here. Give it a refresh, let those bubbles roll in. There we go. Let's scroll down and take a look at where we are right now. Bitcoin currently sitting at 86,937 right now, down 8.3% on the daily. Ethereum is down 11% on the daily. It's sitting at $2,378. We might have to take a look at a lot of alts today, OC. We're going to be looking at a lot of altcoins, so get ready for that. XRP down 10.7%. It is at $2.18. BNB down 4.9% at 604. Solana at 135.86, guys, down 11.7%. Dogecoin down 11.2%. 20 cents is the price on that. That still can go down quite a bit, in my opinion. Cardano down 10.6% at 64.4 cents. That $1 level, guys, I told you it was the bane of its existence. It could not get above that and hold it at all anywhere in that picture. So Tron is down 7.2%. Pi Network, guys, still green on the daily. Starting to see some pullback on the hourly at 1.8% to the downside. It's at $1.58. Chainlink down, losing a spot. This, by the way, Chainlink, this is not how you make it to $600 Chainlink. That's not how you do it. Losing a market cap there to number 12 at $14.50, down 11.3%. Avalanche down 11.1 at $20.74, moving up one spot to number 13. Toncoin jumping up 4 spots to number 14. Despite that, still down 4.4% on the daily at $3.43. Stellar Lumens, that is XLM, down 12.8%, losing 2 spots to number 15 at 27.6 cents. Sui down 10.8. So you guys can see, just in general, all of the alts got rocked except for some decentralized exchange tokens like Leo. Litecoin is down 10% today, losing 2 spots down to number 18. Litecoin, you're breaking my heart. But what do you expect when Bitcoin sells off like that? Litecoin is also rounding at that bottom 20 here, guys. It's H-bar 16.3% to the downside, losing 3% to number 20. Even OM, OC, your OM coin down 8.6%. Nothing is holding up well. Is there anything green on the daily? First Digital USD. It's a stable coin. It's up. And Quant. Quant is at 2.1% on the daily, all the way down to the number 60 spot there. So, Story, IP. How did I forget about this? IP, guys, Story. This is the intellectual property token that we were talking about yesterday. It is up 11 spots to number 67. It is up 15.4% on the day. So let's jump over to economic calendar. We just got some data that came in at the top of the hour here when we went live. CB consumer confidence, guys. It was at 105.3. Consensus was that it would be 102.5. Forecast to be 103. Came in way below that at 98.3. This is the consumer confidence. This is how confident are the American people in the economy and the economy strength, the market strength, inflation. It's their overall metric of measuring the sentiment of how the economy is doing. Their confidence in the economy right now, 98.3, taking a massive hit there to the downside. And then Case-Shiller home prices up 4.5%. They were thinking it was only going to be up 1/10, came in 0.2% higher. So year over year, home price is more expensive. Consumer confidence and sentiment, they think this sucks. So there you go, guys. Tomorrow we're going to get some data coming in. Actually, let's jump over to X because I think that I have in my thing here. I do. Let's go look at this. Kabisi Letter's got a good breakdown. So tomorrow we're going to get January new home sales and NVIDIA earnings report tomorrow at market close. We are seeing some sell-off right now on NVIDIA. And I talked about that yesterday about Bank of America saying NVIDIA is a buy going into earnings. And I was like, I don't know that I would do that. Don't listen to Bank of America. So a lot of times they do those articles, as someone said yesterday, a lot of times they do those articles and then, they take your money. You are exit liquidity. Thursday, we're going to get that quarter 4 2024 GDP. This is going to be the GDP for the last 3 months of 2024. And guys, this is not going to be pretty. Friday, we're going to get January PCE data. Let's go back and look and see what they're projecting on these. Looking at Thursday, GDP growth rate right now, they're expecting it to be way down. Check this out. We're at 3.1. Their consensus and forecast is that it's going to be 2.3. That means contracting economy. This is the GDP growth rate. If it's going down, that means a shrinking economy. Shrinking economies equate to businesses' loss of profits. Business loss of profits equate to layoffs. Layoffs equate to less money to go into the economy, and downward spiral will go while inflation is on its way up. That is called stagflation. Guys, it's not a pretty picture, and this is the stuff that I've been banging the drum on for months. And yes, while it did not play out immediately, it is a slow-moving metric. It is playing out, and we're seeing it. So, and I think it's only going to get worse. I think the layoffs from all of the Fed cuts that are going on, the probationary hires at these companies are the first ones to go, and they're getting cut left and right. 2,000 people just lost their job in one of the VA. VA just cut 2,000 probationary job hires. So we're going to see all of those start to roll in on top of this employment data. So be very, very aware of all of that. Also going to be getting GDP on top of that GDP. We're going to get our initial jobless claims on Thursday. And on Friday, we're going to get core PCE price index. That's going to be coming in at 6:30 a.m. my time, 8:30 a.m. on the East Coast, an hour before the market open. Right now, it does look like core PCE is going to be up higher. And so that means that we're probably going to be seeing inflation. That's what that equates to there. PCE is all about that inflation. It's the price of goods and services. So, lot of bad news there, guys. Sorry to be the bearer of that bad news. I hate to do that to you. Tomorrow, as we were talking about, big aftermarket earnings report is going to be NVIDIA, and they're a big dog in the market. So if that sells off, we'll see even more sell off on the tech side. Looking at CNBC right now at market open. Let's give this a refresh. Make sure I got the most recent data for the Dow Jones, the S&P, and the NASDAQ right now. Looking at the Dow Jones, down 0.2%. There we go. Perfect. Thank you. Right there. 0.2% on the Dow Jones on the downside. S&P down almost 1 full percent. The NASDAQ, as I just talked about, tech sector down 1.96%. Just changed from 1.85. And so that is not a good look there. Sell off on the tech sector. Russell 2K small caps. That's your small caps. They're getting wrecked right now too, down 0.5%. And that VIX is up 12.12%. I tell you guys, when the VIX is green, and everything else is red, that's typically going to be a strong sell-off for the day. So I would not be surprised to see more sell-off throughout the day on that. Bonds, 10-year yields coming down at least. That means that people are buying up the 10-year bond right now. It's at 4.291%. It was at 4.7 a couple weeks ago. I said if it hits 5, we're in trouble. Well, guess what? This is also a sign of trouble too, and that is because the number is dropping. That percentage number is dropping. What that means is that people are buying the 10-year treasury yield, meaning they don't have faith in the market coming up ahead. So when you see the yield get bought up, the 10-year treasury yield, that is people going risk off for that guarantee of an interest rate there, 4.289% yield. So that is getting bought up too. Oil down today, down to $69.43. If this thing's hit $60 per barrel, could be trouble also, and that's heading that direction. So trouble. And gold, shockingly, not getting bought right now, $2,941. And I think the big reason for that is because people have been buying gold. It hit almost that $3,000 level. And so hitting that new high caused a lot of people to do some sell-off. I think that in the next couple of days, we'll see gold start to rally back up again, making that $3,000 target that we've talked about for over a year a reality. Silver is at $32.27. Copper is down, also down 0.25%. Platinum is up 0.38% there, and palladium is down 1.77. That is your precious metals for the day. And I think that's all I got there. Let's go back and check X marks the spot, wrap this up. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Here's some more bad news for you. Hey, guys, more bad news. Just in, Montana, North Dakota, and Wyoming all rejected bills for state-managed Bitcoin reserves over volatility concerns. All of these requests for these to do these state-level investments into Bitcoin, guys, at this price drops like this is going to scare a lot of voters from saying, yes, we want this. So don't be surprised to see more of these on the chopping block get dropped out of there. Stock futures, that's the article I read every morning. Stock futures are flat after the S&P 500 post 3-day losing streak, and it's live updates. So throughout the morning, I'm reading this just to see what's going on, keeping my finger on the pulse for you guys. We'll talk about this article here real fast, and then we'll get into the chart, and I'll show you what I'm seeing over there. Bitcoin risk free fall to $81,000 if Bitcoin loses $85,000 support. And basically what they're talking about on here is Bitcoin price may decline further, with analysts warning of a potential drop to $81,000 amid ongoing exchange-traded fund outflows and market uncertainty. I think that's enough to read there. They were talking about the $90,000 psychological support line. That did not play out. Let's go ahead and jump over to my chart, and then let's talk about these levels, because we are losing. Jesus, take the wheel. This is the level we've talked about for a while here on the show. And what I'm watching, guys, is I want to put this on the daily. We're going to get rid of the oscillator. And let's just talk levels here, and I'll tell you why I got these levels and why they are relevant. Because if we lose, Jesus, take the wheel. You guys see this big candle area right here? This is just a single candle, okay? You have a fair value gap here, and let's go ahead and I'll show you where it's at. I'm going to get my my little rectangle here. It goes from the wick of the next candle to the wick of that previous candle. That is a fair value gap, okay? We have another one coming in right here at this level, and that is a fair value gap. That means that when price hits that, there is not a lot of liquidity and volume in this area. It was a very quick pull, and so what will happen is when price hits that level, it will just drop. It's just liquidated, right? It's liquid poo on the chart, and it's going to slide right through the track there down to this level, which I have called Bitcoin's last stand, guys. We do have one level of hopium in there. That is going to be the value area high off of this fixed range volume profile. You can also see that big area I was talking about there, no volume at all on the fixed range volume profile. Very easy, since we're losing Jesus Take the Will, to head down to Bitcoin's last stand. That is going to be that volume node right there, and it's going to be key level for us. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put a box in here. I don't know that it's going to hit this level anytime soon, but we're going to put one here right on the value area high, and we're going to run it right down to Bitcoin's last stand. And this is just going to be a little extra one here for us, because that is an area here that we need to be aware of, is that value area high. But I don't see any volume there, which means it is going to be very easy for the price to just push right through that. Also, there's a little tiny node. I do think Bitcoin's last stand right here is going to be the key level. Where is that level coming in at? $76,800 on the top side, $73,888 on the bottom side. And then we don't even get into the point of control, guys, until $67,000. This is going to be right around the range that Bitcoin was at the time of the elections. Historically, Bitcoin has never dropped below the level of the price on election day, ever. So looking at that point of control coming in at that level is an interesting place to be. Matter of fact, let's go back and look. I believe it was like November 8th was election day. Someone let me know in chat. But that was the price level in November. Yeah, November 5th, I guess it was. So yeah, it's right there. That's it. So coming down to that level would not be pretty to see, but it would be back into some ranges that are some historical levels that we have always been able to hold. So one last thing that I do want to show on some higher time frames. Let's jump over here. Nope, that is the daily with all of the oscillators. Yeah, I'll show something here. We do have a quantum reactor coming in, guys. This is one of the algorithmic moving averages, very powerful, that we use in Chart Prime. You can see all the levels, all the times that it has bounced at these levels right there, all that support. These are key levels of support for us. And right on top of that, that orange line coming in there, that is going to be your 200-day simple moving average. So that level right now coming in at about $81,000, guys. If we look at what that level is that we were just talking about back here at the bottom, or in this box of Bitcoin's last stand, you'll see that coming in at that level is the 300-day simple moving average. So we do have some levels down there that we need to be watching. But if we take a look at this here, you can see how low we are right now on the RSI Prime, the stochastic RSI Prime here, coming down with the candles on Heikin-Ashi. We are sitting below that 30%. We are getting the oversold indication down here on the Oscillator Pro, right? Everything's looking pretty bottomy here on the daily. But if we go back and take a look, I want to take this back to 2021 and just show you guys what was happening back then when we were at the market tops. Let's do that. There we go. 2021. Keep going. Keep going. We're in 2023. Let's go back there. There we go. November 2021. You can see we were hitting after the top ranges here were hit, right? We had this nice big red back here on the buildup, and then we went down, came in for the last push right there, and that would be November 8th. This drop happened fairly quickly, and we came all the way down and started to hit these levels of reset. Every bounce that we had after that was trapping people. This trapped people. They thought it was, this is it. We're bouncing again. $100,000 is coming, right? And then it came down. It bounced again, hit those bottom levels. On the daily, hitting these bottom levels means you might have a relief rally. Does not necessarily equate to the bottom is in and it's time to ape in and get trapped. Don't be someone else's exit liquidity. If you want to get back in, what you need to wait for is, and I'm going to come over to this chart. Nope, this chart to show you that chart. Yeah, we'll do this chart. Let's put this on the daily and I'll show you what you guys need to be looking for. Actually, let's put it on like a 3-day. You guys see this level here of how No, we'll do daily. Let me bring it in. You guys see this level here of how price action started to come in down here? Like the bottom came in March. There was where we broke that previous all-time high, and it just kept going down. Look, it came up here and it set a high, beating this previous level, right? And then it came down and it caught key support. This is going to be your pi cycle algorithmic moving bottom. It can be anything. It could be your support and resistance levels. You can be looking at anchored VWAPs, whatever your support levels are, that's what you need to be seeing, right? Support on, a bounce on support. And then it came up and made a new high. Wait for a pullback, and that's where you get in. You don't need to be thinking this is the bottom and then it's a rally and then it just continues down. You want to see a confirmation of price structure reversal, and if you're not waiting for that, you're going to get hurt. That is what's going to happen before I get super bullish on getting back in heavily. Right now, I'm just sticking to my DCA reset, $1,000 a week based on the multiplier of the wristband. So because I took all of my profits, I was buying Bitcoin at 21,400. Some of it, that was my average price. Some of it was as low as $17,000. Ethereum at 975. Sold it all at 102.7. There was a reason for that, and I've been preaching and banging the drum about it. But guys, we are losing this lower level here, and this is the level I also talked about last Friday and yesterday morning, that this lower moving band here on the pi cycle indicator, getting a break beneath that, has never ever led to anything good for us. Even if it was just some of the smaller ones here, we take a look, turn that magnet off so I can get the line on here. That one there was still a 12% pullback in the bull cycle. So could we see that here? Absolutely. But if we start to come down and lose these levels down here at about $73,000, guys, we have a whole different story going on with Bitcoin. So yeah, those are the levels that I'm watching right now. These are all available to our members. If you guys want it in our Discord, just hit me up and I'll give you a copy of these so that you guys can get these prices. But yeah, let's go over back to Duo Cam OC. Your thoughts on the sell-off that we're seeing on these levels? Nothing's looking good. It's very ugly. Would you say right now is the time to buy the dip? Are you buying the dip, or what are you doing right now?
I am actually in our public wallet. We were stuck in a one long position where we decided to enter with two more positions. Why? Because we layered down on that one. In this case, this is my last entry on this position, and we need just to wait because we just averaged our entry, and that's it, guys. We're not gonna be all going all in into our wallets, not in public ones, not in personals, not anywhere else. But is this an opportunity? Absolutely. And my private wallet, where I'm not restricted with amounts, I am buying the dip at this point. But do you want the good news or do you want the bad news?
Let's give them some hopium first. Is it on your chart?
Yes, it's on my chart. All right.
All right.
The good news.
Give the alumni some hopium first, okay? Because they just got beat down with bad news. Bearish Piper is brutal sometimes, okay?
The good news is that bad news are not that bad, all right? So, well, what else can I say? No, I'm just kidding. There are some good news and bad news. The good news is that we could be facing the V-shaped recovery that I am expecting, right? The bad news, it is, this is something that we could be expecting at this point, right? For the good news. Why? Because we've been on a little wrenching here. We are going for the farther push down here, maybe for the spring, which I know if you're talking technically, if you're watching this and you know Wyckoff, I know this is not called the spring at this point because of the distribution, but we'll just call it a spring just to identify that last little pull up that we could be having, right? So the good news and hopium news is that we're looking for something like that. We need to see within 3 days, counting this day today, so today, tomorrow, and the next day, that we need to come back above 91K. All right. So the good news, if you want to believe the hopium, is that we might be at the edge of reversing and then continuing up. So let me just fix this for a little bit. There we go. As where we are right now. And let me show you why. I'm just not talking out of the blue, right? We have a double bottom here. And look at that. Those two big body candles, right? Big body candles based on the previous candles size going through support. Let's zoom out on daily. Let's take a look at this trend line that we're breaking back below. what's going to happen if we lose this trend line? If we close below with a big body candle, let's take a look at what's going on when we do that. So look at that, double top, right? Trickling down, losing the dynamic reactor with two big body candles. And on the third day, we did not went back to previous highs above the dynamic reactor. This is extremely similar to what we're seeing right now. Double top, right? Coming back down, trickling down. Look at that. Even we have the same week, man. And then losing the dynamic reactor with a big body candle or two big body candles. So the only thing that we can hope right now, it is for a big in 3 or 4 candle recovery like that. If that does not happen, man, I think it's gonna be one of those that is not about the breakout, it's about the retest, and off we go. In the next area of support, it's gonna be all the way down there. So let's take a look at again what happened here. Double top, trickling down, losing that dynamic reactor, right? Double top, dead cat bounce, trickling down. Look at that, losing dynamic reactor with two big body candles, and then on the third, fourth day, not getting back above it. So again, we need to get back above it as soon as we are getting below it, right? So again, if we lose it and we do not do it within 3 days, 3 or 4 days, I think that the bearish scenario will be confirming, and we're going to be having a little bit more downside to come. The good news, again, because it doesn't seem to have any good news, but the good news is that this could be a V-shaped recovery. Is this for sure? No. Is this for you to go and try to do a comeback trade? No. Do you have maybe some spare cash that you have been getting out of the icons like we have been doing? Well, then there you go. Let's close our icons. Like, for example, oh, I remove it, but we'll see it. Like, for example, where is it? Where we enter on near, if I'm not mistaken. I was not near. It was Jupiter. Cool. Man, all of those did not enter right there. Well, I'll just give you the actual played out that we have been looking for, and then allocate that in your entry points. And by the way, remember that I told you guys that this has been there forever. There we go. The alerts. Oh, dude, last chance. Read above, right? OC. F, let's go. Enter here. Do not let this one go, right? And this was created on February the 4th. All right, Tuesday, February the 4th. So we've been expecting this area for a long, long time. So if you have been trading altcoins and if you're in positive, it's time to take your entries or the accumulated money and then maybe start allocating a piece of it. But other than that, that's what I got, Viper, with Bitcoin.
All right, let's talk about something serious. LBC, requesting prayers and good vibes. Grandmother's in the hospital. Bro, my thoughts and prayers to you, man. LBC, a member of our team here, and all the love your way, man. So if you guys would please keep him in your thoughts today. It's never good when your family members are at risk, right? Who cares about portfolio when it comes to your family not being well, right? It's all this money, all this charts mean nothing. I'd trade all of it for my family to be healthy and well. So much love to you, LBC. That's what we're seeing on Bitcoin. You gave a little bit of hopium there. I am watching something here on my chart that I just saw some confluence. So I want to jump over and talk about that. And then let's come back and knock out some altcoins, OC. Looking right now, guys, you can see I just pulled a fib from that low level down here. This is going to be that election window when we got the Trump pump, and up we go, right? So pulling a fib from that low level to the high. And I actually need to bring that up to that high because we did have another high. There we go. That is going to be putting our platinum pocket, guys. Golden pocket, I'm betting this does not do much for us. That is going to be your 618 to your 0.66. I think because of that fair value gap, we might get a little bounce there. But if we reject off that 618, very likely heading down into the platinum pocket. If you don't know, guys, platinum pocket is Well, you just booed on me. Thank you. Here, do that. Thank you. Let's lock the fibs. Lock those fibs. If we come down to the platinum pocket, if you guys don't know, the platinum pocket is the 0.786. That is your 78.6% retracement line of the Fibonacci down to the 88.7%. A lot of people don't use the 887, but they absolutely should because the platinum pocket plays out a lot. If we take a look at that level here, I just want to show you, I just threw on that Bitcoin last stand, guys. It comes in right across the 786. I do think 75,894 is going to be a key level to watch. Also, if we jump over here and we take a look at the BTC 1, that is our CME gap coming in down there. So again, that CME gap, $81,000 to $77,000, that would also close out the CME gap that we've had our eyes on here on the show for well, since November. Since November 11th, there we had that big gap up, and that left that. You get these CME gaps for those that don't know. This is futures, so they don't trade on the weekends. And so these gaps come in when it closes on Friday to its Monday open. All that price action that happens on the weekend, if it jumps, it will leave a gap. And that is called a gap up or a gap down when it needs to fill that. This morning, I was looking here. We had one here from this weekend. We did pump up yesterday and close that out. But then with this huge drop overnight, because future markets have a closing period overnight, there was another gap that's sitting right above us. If you guys are not tracking this one, this gap is coming in at 92,785 on the bottom, 93,930 on the top. If we get a bounce, it's going to be to come in. This was another one here. Forget about that. It's gone. That's dead and gone. If we do get this bounce here between Monday and Tuesday to fill this, and we get a pump up here, watch for that to get filled and then immediately turn back around, setting a new lower high and setting up into a new lower low. That would be something that you need to watch. So again, that level coming in, $93,930. There is a gap there to be filled. A lot of times they do get filled. We can return back to that level, and it still would not make me bullish because it is just following normal cycle moves on price action. This happens with stocks and crypto. Gaps up, gap ups, gap downs, and don't be surprised if it comes back to fill that. Do not get trapped at that level, guys. OC, what are you seeing on the altcoin side? Let's go talk about those. I'm sure there's a couple of them out there. Like, let's take a look at the big ones, the Solanas, the Links, the XRPs, the Ethereum's your favorite token. What are these looking like right now on this current market structure? Let's go do some TA on those.
Absolutely. Let's get started with Solana right now. And it seems like I'm in the wrong way. There we go. Perfect. So I was having a delay. There we go. So Solana here, we were talking about this trend line, this huge trend line, right? And remember that based on our possible entries, let me see if it's in this one. We were expecting for an entry or a further better entry. There we go at the trend line, as we had flip of the ribbon. But guess what? As the point of where we were hitting the trend line, we did not have flip of the ribbon. We have flip of the ribbon right now. But do we have already a support? Well, it seems like we're stopped falling at this point. Let's take a look at what else we have there. Well, we have a support line. What else we have? We have allocation volume. This doesn't mean that much at this point. I need to see a little bit below or just this. There we go. That yellow number jump out of that area. Therefore, I know it's not longer being allocated in the same area. Therefore, estimate whether we're going to be bouncing or continuing. But so far, seems like a bounce might be coming. Not that sure though. Why? Because we just created a new predictive ranges scenario. Well, then, are we on support? Yes. What happens usually when we create a new setup like this? Well, we go and visit the blue line. So also look at how we are allocating order blocks all the way up there. So remember that order blocks are magnetic. So we could be expecting maybe a bounce, retracement, and then we'll see what's going to happen. But so far, we need to wait for confirmation. What's going to be our confirmation? Consolidation score and prime score. We need to see those numbers pump up a little bit there. Those are rocky numbers in this racket. But at this point, we need to
pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Absolutely. Because, I mean, if you just jump in because of a single line in the charts, remember that is not confluence. We need several things at the same spot to tell us that we are going to be moving upwards or at least bouncing. So give it a little bit of a chance, a little bit time to breathe, to stabilize, and then jump in when we start seeing those prime score and consolidation score getting higher. Let's go something like BNB. I'm very interested on BNB. Last time that we traded BNB, remember that we jumped in here, then we went a little bit underwater. TP number 1 hit, moved up to entry. So thanks God, that was a good move. And guys, this was one of the trades that we took allocation out to put now into Bitcoin. Let me just remove this. So far, we are into a golden line. We have flip of the ribbon. There we go. Look at that. This is exactly what I want to see. Prime score getting higher, right? Are we going to be having maybe a bounce? Could be. This is a very risky entry, but we are below because we are below dynamic reactor. But we're almost there with a flip of the ribbon. So I'm not going to be trading right now any altcoins, guys. Any. I already traded them. And whatever I took out of them, I'm allocating it into Bitcoin. But if you're looking for maybe a trade, this could be it all the way to 634, the best case scenario. All right. Again, I'm not trading this. I'm not trading any altcoins so far. If I'm going to be buying anything, it's going to be just for holding it. Another important thing that we could be doing at this point will be a higher low in the micro movements here. Therefore, we could be looking for a bounce also at that area. It's not a confirmation. Remember, we're just getting there, all right? But if this plays out, we could be confirming a higher low, basically now expecting a higher high breaking through this area. And look at that, what we got there, a loud order block. Again, if Bitcoin plays out and stop falling. All right, let's take a look at something else like OM. We've been talking about OM for a long time here, and we're back again on entry areas, but we don't have flip of the ribbon, despite we're still pretty bullish. We're not going to be jumping in unless we see that reversal in price action and we see that flip of the ribbon. Better yet, wait for that breakout to happen on your oscillator. Let me give you an example right here. There we go. That's exactly where we should up. I think I've been doing a little bit long. There we go. Long on altcoins. Let me wrap it up with Link and turn it back to you, Piper. Link, we were expecting an entry here with flip of the ribbon, right? We did enter right there. Well, in fact, we did enter right here. There we go. Moved up to entry. And I told you guys, and what happens took us out of it. What happened on the next one? Well, then that was a stop loss if you enter early. Why? Because remember what I always tell you, support or entry point at flip of the ribbon. What happened right there? We did not have any flip of the ribbon. That's why I'm telling you guys, wait for confirmation. Please wait for confirmation. All right. Something interesting that is happening with Link, and I might be willing to enter at where we are right now. I mean, I need to do a little bit more research, but or at least wait 1 or 2 more candles. That is because look at that. We have a double bullish divergence. We also have some oversold. We are already confirming a flip of the ribbon, and we are at support. The only thing that I will be waiting for, you guessed it, prime score and consolidation score. I need to see those numbers pump a little bit up, at least prime score to 3, right? That will give me at least enough hopium to get all the way to 1659. So let's add an alerting here, and also let me try to catch the price slightly below. So when this area hits here, I might be coming back in this chart and see my prime score for change. That's why I told you guys that I need a little more investigation, more time, or more data, because I don't have that confirmation just yet. But this could be a very nice entry. You know what? Let me just lock this up and clear everything else. There we go. That's going to be our first call. Remember, with FOR and prime score. Other than that, turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now. Appreciate everyone that is in here right now. Amazing alumni in the house with us. 54 of you guys. Smash that like button up. Those are rookie numbers too, as Alexander G said. Got to pump those numbers up. Appreciate all of you. Don't forget, guys, tonight, speaking of community, what's that poll at? I got to go see the poll. Let me go see the poll. we had that question that we asked about on the poll. It was, what do you guys come to Piper Academy for daily? Why do you come here? 40% said for the TA, 29% said for the economy macro news, and 31% for the community. So speaking of community there, guys, let's go jump over and let's take a look here, OC, at what I have up on X right now. It is going to be Billy Goat Tales tonight, guys. It's Tuesday. Billy Goat Tales time for upcoming X space right here. Create your LLC Living Trust Crypto Tax with Ernest Lee. You guys know he's a friend and family member here of the show. He also does all of Piper Academy's taxes for the R LLC and my own personal taxes. Tonight, he's going to be on there talking about getting your LLC, Living Trust, and crypto taxes. So make sure you guys tune into that tonight right here on X. It's going to be 7 p.m. my time, 9 p.m. on the East Coast on X. So make sure you guys go check that out. Let's jump over OC, and I want to talk about what I'm seeing on my chart here. I'm looking at Ethereum, your favorite token. I know. It looks like we got another level here that we need to watch closely. If we do not hold this level, guys, this is your value area high from the, I'm on a daily chart. This is your value area high from the very bottom back in June of 2022. And we are about to hit the value area high. You can see this has been a critical level of support for Ethereum going all the way back here into December of 2023. So well over a year now, this has been the level to watch. If we lose this, we do have a 236 was previous resistance back here. There's a touch on it, lots of touches on it. This 236 is on the Fibonacci's. And if we lose that level, guys, you're looking at a point of control coming in at $1,571 Ethereum. Where are these fibs coming from? Let me show you. Let's turn that off and let's talk about these fibs, guys. These fibs are pulled on a daily chart on a trend-based fib. So if you come over here, click trend-based fib extensions, this is pulled from the low that we had back here in March of 2020 to the top of 2021 to the bottom of 2022, and they're trend-based fibs. You have 3 points to do it. That's your trend, low to high to a higher low, and bring those into play. That is the levels that you can see here. And if you look, our market top for this cycle so far has been rejected in the golden pocket. So this 236 going to be a critical level to hold. It was previous resistance. Now, hopefully, it will be our support. If not, again, like I said on that fixed range volume profile, we do have a value area high coming in right now, $2,258. If we lose that level, very easily could be looking at that point of control. That would be $1,500 Ethereum, and OC would be screaming from the mountaintop, "I told you so." F Ethereum, as he says. OC, is that happening with ETH? Is $1,500 Ethereum? Is that happening, bro? Like,
oh man, I don't know, but hopefully. I don't know, a good price opportunity could be on those tokens that you guys are looking for, right? Again, good entry opportunities for DCA, not for trading at this point. Man, the thing's just looking bearish. I don't know. Kind of like and you call this, right? You're not trading altcoins at all. You saw the top and you're reallocating at this point, right? And we also mentioned it yesterday, right? Not trading altcoins at this point because of the danger zone that we were in. And guess what? It happened, right? So I will be saying that if you start looking for DCA, now remember the trick that we taught you yesterday, that using the MVP oscillator to start timing in the monthly, in the weekly, or in the 4 hour, or even in the daily for those entries for DCA on your favorite tokens. Now that everything is at a discount, could be a good testing the waters entry, right? Small positions, a good area, and then see how Bitcoin reacts. Because remember, we need to do a V-shaped recovery. If not, and I mentioned this to Piper, and I believe that we could be confirming a bear market cycle for a short period. Remember that I still back up my prediction, 500K on an extended period, which means bigger ranges at this point, more volatility because of the new influx of volume or market cap. All right, so bigger market cap comes with bigger movements. But you mentioned something very interesting, Piper, about it.
About what?
about that I was saying that maybe the end of the bull market and start off a short bear market. But you said, you know what? Or maybe we could be going for 2021.
Oh yeah. Let's go
indicators.
take a look at that. That is a very possible scenario. Let's go take a look at what that looked like before. Let's jump over here. You're going to come on with me. Here we go. Taking a look here, guys, this is the scenario that I was talking about, and it has to do with breaking the Pi cycle support band bottom, right? Also, if you guys look, as I've talked about before, there's a whole video about this. This is a trend-based fib from the previous low, high, low back in, the cycles, right? And so that gives you targets for the next cycle, which we hit. You can see we almost hit it back here in 2021. We did have a slight variance here on it, outlier back here in the 2017 period where we broke above it. But if you look at most cycles, 75% of the time so far, we have rejected in this trend-based golden pocket, right? But let's take a look at 2021 and see what we had here. We had a break here of that lower band of the Pi cycle. Now, mind you, it did cross there at that point. We're far from crossing right now. There's a little hopium for you. The Pi cycle top has not crossed yet, right? But if you take a look at this drop that we had here, let's go measure this off from the time that we broke that band to its bottom. That was a 44% drop on the market. If we were to do a 44% drop right now from that level, that would put us down at about $54,000 Bitcoin. So could be that case. But let's go over here. I want to grab some candles here. Let's grab a fractal. Where are you? Bars pattern. Let's go take a look at this and let's just copy this candle here into the top period again, right? And grab that, bring it over here, and let's see what that would look like there. That would be that there. So I want to bring these lines over. Let's go ahead and just extend these lines. I'll just do some horizontals here on these. There we go. There's a line there, and there's that line there. We could see a repeat of this pattern that we had back in 2021 where we broke the lower band of the Pi cycle, just like we are now, get that pullback into key support right here. And then we are looking at, because you can see when we did it here, we had key support there, right? Then we come back in for a final rejection, just slightly higher than what we had here, but still matching inside the golden pocket band. So guys, all is not lost if you got in at the tops up here. And that was where you were doing some heavy buying. But, keep in mind that if we did get this repeat, you might get that second opportunity to, get the hell out of Dodge, or as we say, abandon ship. Right there on those levels of the golden pocket. So that is another scenario that I'm watching closely. To see how far we go down. Now, keep in mind though, drop down to that level would absolutely be a change of the historics where we have never returned back and broke the price level on election day. So that would throw that one out the window. But what I keep telling people, and this is the most important thing that I need to say on today's show, listen to me, look at me. We've never had Bitcoin in a contracting environment of an economy, ever. Everything you know about Bitcoin has existed in a growth economy or with stimulus feeding it, right? We don't have stimulus. We actually have job cuts and everything else going on right now. Contracting economy, inflation's high, job losses are on the rise. GDP is shrinking. We just showed you those numbers earlier on the show. The economy is GDP for the quarter, smaller, right? Contracting economy. Bitcoin's never existed in this economy. So people that are banging the drum talking about every 4 years Bitcoin does this are leaving out a very important piece. That they are doing the equivalent of this car can go at 100 miles an hour around that turn. I've done it 4 times. Okay, cool. Now the road's wet and you've never driven this car on a wet road. That is the piece they are missing. They are overconfident in what they know and ignorant on what they don't know to apply to that scenario. So you guys need to keep an eye on who you're listening to, because if they're telling you over and over and over about the 4-year cycle and not giving you the new information. They are not analysts. They don't understand the analytical cycle. When you get new information, you must start the process over and apply it to your analysis and assessment. And they probably shouldn't be doing what they're doing in the space. They're danger. Danger Will Robinson, exactly. So yeah, that's all I got time for today. I think we're about to go over and raid Dano Crypto because he's live right now, and I don't like to just leave all these people sitting with nothing to do. So we're going to go check out Dano Crypto. OC, what do you got for the people on the way out, man?
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much for joining today. Let's just click that like button to see the price of Bitcoin bounce. Come on, let's make that effort together. I want to see it bounce. I already have bought some, and I want to see that reflection coming back alive and get me some profits. Get us all profits. Other than that, please click that like button. It always helps us with the algorithm and spread the love, spread the knowledge, and spread the experience.
Absolutely. Guys, stay tuned in today. Later on, we'll go to Dano Crypto right now. When you get over there, drop the graduation caps. Today, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Trade Academy or Trade Intuition. This evening, we're going to have TradeFly, Jesus, line please. TradeFly with Crypto Nightcap and then Markets After Dark. Lunar Beaches Crypto. Don't forget to tune in to Billy Goat Tells tonight. Also on X, TradeFly is going to be pushing out that info also on his live stream tomorrow morning. Kicking it all off again. It's Good Morning Crypto with BC Port Corp. We'll be back at 10 a.m. After the market open to give you guys the news, markets, and economy, all the news you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. We'll catch you guys then. Till next time, trade safe. And as always, use some risk management. Peace.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, former Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Chart Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall low. Sound off.
To get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean.
That was awesome, dude.